This is The Top, where I interview entrepreneurs who are number one or number two in their industry in terms of revenue or customer base. You'll learn how much revenue they're making, what their marketing funnel looks like, and how many customers they have.
I'm now at $20,000 per top.
5 and 6 million.
He is hell-bent on global domination.
We just broke our 100,000 units sold mark.
And I'm your host, Nathan Latka.
I just finished traveling Southeast Asia for 41 days, and I usually always get sick when I travel, and quite frankly, eating is difficult for me. It's hard to find a restaurant, and I'm spoiled in Austin with my personal chef. Well, I took these little packets with me this time, 30 of them, in my carry-on suitcase. They kept me totally healthy with 11 different secret ingredients. You can see them at nathanlatka.com/juice. I'll tell you more later on in the show. That's nathanlatka.com/juice. Top Tribe, you know I don't have a lot of time to waste. That's why I use FreshBooks to send out invoices and make sure I'm collecting my money. To get your free month, go to nathanlatka.com/FreshBooks and enter the top in the How Did You Hear About Us section. Nathan Latka here. This is episode 617, and coming up tomorrow morning, you'll learn from father of 3 and 44-year-old CEO Ry Walker of Astronomer.io. The company's only 2 years old, and they just passed $60,000 in monthly recurring revenue. They raised $2 million to help companies make more sense of their data. Good morning, everybody. My name is Nathan Latka, and my guest this morning is Monish Anand, and he is a banker, a technologist, and a fintech evangelist. Above everything else, he's a father. He spent 20 years plus in corporate working for large banks and technology companies, only to realize that they were not solving big problems, and quite frankly, often they were part of the problem. His company, Datasigns Technologies, aims to provide underserved and unserved access to optimal credit. All right, Monish, are you ready to take us to the top?
Absolutely. Thank you, Nathan. I'm super excited to be on the show.
Well, I'm excited to have you. I really am. The financial technology space is a hot space. So tell us more about Datasigns. What does your company do, and how do you generate revenue?
Fantastic. So we started a company in, last year. I mean, officially the company got incorporated on 9th March 2015, but a lot of work happened before 9th March 2015. And what we're really trying to do is we are trying to give credit where it's due. In India, over 400 million people every year apply for loans, and less than 1 out of 7 actually manage to get a loan from banks or NBA and banks in a non-banking company. So the gap is massive. So the people who don't really get loans from banking and NBFCs, their options are either to go to friends and relatives to borrow, or loan sharks are always an option here. So what we are trying to do is essentially bridge the gap between the credit givers and these credit takers. And that's, we are trying to build an algorithm wherein we have an innovative way of looking at credit scoring. We credit score these people. We help them understand their credit score. And once they understand their credit score, we help them get a loan from the banks and NBFCs.
So, Monish, how are you scoring people that want additional credit lines that's different from traditional agencies like Experian?
Well, what we really believe is that the calculus, which is often used to determine credit worthiness, is not good enough to predict whether a person will pay back a loan. The typical calculus uses, just take a person's income and minus the expenses, or, look at their past credit behavior. We believe that there's, there are a lot of data which is available, and not a single piece of data is not a definite one. It is just one piece in a larger mosaic. So we collect data from various sources, we turn into an algorithm, and we take out a credit score. I'll give you an example how it all started. My driver, Abrar, wanted a loan of INR 50,000 rupees, which is about a year and a half back.
Sorry, who wanted the 15,000 rupees?
My driver, Abrar.
What do you mean your driver?
My car driver.
Oh, your car driver, like your taxi driver.
So my personal car driver wanted a loan of 50,000 rupees, 50,000 rupees, and he goes to his bank asking for the money. Bank says, sure, we'll give you money, but you know what? We need your pay slip. Now, this is the bank which has all the data points available for this driver because his salary goes into the bank.
Yep.
He uses the bank's debit card. There are a lot of other data points which are available, which bank doesn't even consider. What are those data points? His father runs a tailoring shop for last 30 years in the city. He's born and brought up in this city. He went to a local college in this city, right? He's a quintessential local boy. So there are a whole lot of data points which are available.
Monish,
He's on Facebook.
how is your algorithm picking up those qualitative traits about this person that wants credit?
So essentially, what we rely a lot on the mobile data. India has over 1 billion phones subscribers, out of which today 61% of the phones which are getting sold are the smartphones. So every time the people, when they're accessing, sending messages, streaming videos, accessing their social media accounts, they're leaving digital footprints behind.
And
so
how do you get access to that?
So we essentially are a mobile first platform. We have an app on the Play Store, Google Play Store. And once a person downloads the app, it gives us the consent to cull the data. We pick up data from various sources, build a picture around it. And that's when the credit scoring is done.
So how do they find you?
So, we have a very innovative way of marketing. As of now, till now, we have eschewed much of digital marketing because in a financial services business, one of the critical part is that how do you acquire your customer and what is the cost of acquiring a customer? So what we do is that we do forward tie-ups with large corporates. We do tie-ups with MSMEs, which is your micro, small, and medium enterprises.
What do you do with them?
So what we really do is that we tie up with the large MSMEs. Now, MSMEs are essentially micro, small, and medium enterprises.
Okay, so you have partnerships.
They're close to about, so we do partnerships with these small and medium enterprises where there are about 150 million Indians working for these small and medium enterprises. We are a part of the HR manual. We are a part of the induction manual. We run campaigns inside these companies and inside these factories. We teach them. We explain finance. One of the biggest stories for our company is the financial literacy. We tell them about how the credit scoring is done. What are the various parameters which go into credit scoring, so they understand what they're doing well, what they're not doing so well. We help them build their credit score, and then eventually help them apply for a loan.
So how many folks have given you access to their data? How many have downloaded the app?
Well, we just started lending about 3 months back. So today, our entire universe is close to about 75,000 employees working in about 60 odd companies. Yeah.
Okay, so you have 75,000 people have downloaded your app across 60 companies?
We have 75,000 employees who are part of our universe, who know about Shubh Loans, who understand that for them today the option of taking loan is from Shubh Loans because we've reached out to them through the HR manuals.
Have they downloaded your app though? The 75,000.
So we have close to about 10,000 downloads right now.
Okay, got it. So you've gotten exposure to 75,000. 10,000 of them have actually downloaded the app. How many of them? Yeah. How many of them have you been able to work out a loan for?
So we have given close to about 600 loans at an average ticket size of 75,000 rupees with a tenure of about 18 months.
Okay, got it. And what do those loan terms typically look like? Are the interest rates hard money interest rates?
See, essentially for these guys, the options are to go to a loan shark. And in India, a loan shark typically charges close to about 56% to IRR. So that means what a loan shark does is they charge about 3% flat interest fee. They cut the interest in advance. So if you look at the IRR, it works out to about 56%. We lend at less than half of that. Yeah.
Okay. So
and not only it's not only about the interest, Nathan. It's also about getting these guys into the credit umbrella. Now these guys are formalized into the credit space. These guys are recognized by the banks and NBFCs. And, they also become, eligible for other financial services like insurance.
They start to build history, which is a good thing.
They start to build history. So exactly.
Monish,
so there's a massive social upside.
Yeah. Let me break this down because I want people to understand how significant this is. So guys, I'm going to convert this to rupees to United States dollars for a second. So Monish they launched this in 2015. By the way, Monish, have you raised capital for this company?
Oh yes, we have. We got angel funded in November last year.
How much?
We raised about 400,000 USD.
Okay, and was that a convertible note or an equity round?
That's equity round.
Okay.
That's equity round. We are raising another 5 million, which we should be closing probably in next about 45 days.
Oh, good. Do you already have your lead?
Yes, very, very substantially.
Oh, very good. Good. Okay, so you'll be closing 5 million here shortly, but let me break down the math real quick. So you have exposure. You have a very unique distribution model where you team up with companies. You're built in their employee handbooks. You're teaching about financial literacy as these employees are hired. You have exposure to 75,000 employees across about 60 companies. Of those 75,000, 10,000 have actually downloaded the application. And over the past 3 months, so that's between November 2016 and January 2017, you've issued about 600 loans at an average of 75,000 rupees, which is equivalent to about 1,100 United States dollars they're on a 12-month term. And you take what interest rate on that?
So essentially, our interest rate varies from 22 to 26%. IRR, and which is half of what these guys typically pay to a money lender, and money lender charges close to about 56%. See, interest rates in India are definitely much higher than the US US market. Somebody who is part of the banking circle has got some credit history in the past typically gets a loan at about 18 to 21% in India, which is the unsecured personal loan there, right? What we are doing is we are offering this particular segment a loan between 22 to 26.
But it's a riskier cohort that traditional banks wouldn't loan to.
It's definitely. Well, I won't call them risky. It's they don't have financial histories in the past. So typically what happens is why our interest is slightly higher than the other segment is because we take a line of credit from banks. Right. So what we are the only company in the country today where multiple banks and NBFCs have given a mandate to acquire these customers, risk assess these customers. Also, these companies accept a credit score and they lend to these customers based on our credit score. So if we say the loan has to be given to Nathan, the banks and NBFCs will give a loan to Nathan. Yeah, we're the only company which have got that do those kind of mandates. Yeah.
Monish.
Now, typically banks as of now. Yeah.
Real quick, sorry, because I just want to stay on the loan terms real quick as we're running out of time. Do these loan sharks, or do they typically charge basis points up front as well?
Oh, absolutely.
How many points?
They charge. So they charge close to they charge 3% per month. So that means what they do is if you're taking a loan for 1 year for let's say $100 US, they will give you $64. They'll cut $36 upfront
right at the beginning.
So if you work out the IRR, it's about more than 50%.
Got it. So they're requiring 3-ish basis points up front in addition to 40 to 50% IRR.
Absolutely.
Okay.
Absolutely.
Do you have, when you issue these loans, are you taking any basis points up front?
We take a processing fee, which is 1.5% to 2% of processing fee, okay. Which is the 1.5% to 2% of the loan amount, very, very small amount, and then we charge a very basic, simple interest.
Okay, so if you've done 1,100, the average size is $1,100 US. You've done 600 of them, so let's just call it, what is that? About $6 million of loans given out. You've taken about 2% of that. That's how you make money. Is that right?
One is that we make money on the processing fee. Second, we make money on the spread. So typically we have a line of credit from the bank at a certain percentage. We lend at a higher percentage. We also keep the spread.
Got it. Will you share what that spread is?
Well, it's in the range of 7 to 10%.
Okay, got it. So you have access to the banks at somewhere between, call it 12 and 15%. You're marking that up to 22 to 26%, but that's still better than a loan shark loan.
Much better than loan shark.
Got it.
Also, it's a formal credit.
Are you holding, when you issue these loans, are you holding them on your personal balance sheet, or are you flipping them to other banks?
No, we are flipping to the other banks. So we are absolutely asset light model. We help banks build their books.
Interesting.
So these are on the balance sheet of the banks.
Are you, when you're raising this additional capital for your company, say $5 million, are you using kind of this transaction volume? Like, are you raising against the volume you're processing?
No. This is equity capital we are raising, essentially to build our technology to the next level. We want to bring in gamification into the app, and we also are building our AI bots into the app.
This is great. This is Monish. This is fascinating to me. This is really amazing. My brain's going 1,000,000 miles an hour, so this is great. How many employees are you at to date?
Well, we are a very small team. We're a team of about 17 people right now, but we are growing every month. And so there's 17 people. Most of them are data scientists because our game is about data. We think data is the next currency.
Are they all based in India?
They're all based in India. They're all based in Bangalore in India.
And I don't know if I asked you this, what got you into this space? Why did you start the company?
Well, essentially, I've been a banker for about 20 years, and it was quite frustrating because to see that the people who deserve credit don't get credit because they don't make it through the bank's engine. And banks traditionally for the last 40, 50, 60 years have been using the same algorithm. Nothing has really changed there, except the fact that around 20 years back, the credit bureaus came into India. So, there were people who deserved loan but were not getting loan from the banks, and which was quite frustrating because one was working within the realm of the bank's structure. And that's where I decided to break free and, do something about the segment there.
Okay, Top Tribe, as many of you know, I sold Heyo, and everyone is always asking me what my expenses were when I was building Heyo. Well, a big expense was that I spent over $3,000 per month on financial services to keep me out of trouble in terms of taxes. My mom would always harbor me, Nathan, you gotta keep all your receipts and put them in a freaking box or something to make sure you don't get an audit or things like this. I'm like, Mom, I'm a millennial. You think I'm gonna keep all these receipts? I now use FreshBooks. I use their mobile app to take a picture of receipts, and it makes taxes a cinch. Additionally, I don't have to hire a $3,000 per month person to manage all my finances. It's like saving so much money, and my mom's happy. Additionally, I don't waste a bunch of time creating invoices. I use their templates, and I can avoid using Word templates or Excel files. I just use FreshBooks to quickly send out invoices, and it works like a charm. To get your free first month, go to nathanlatka.com/FreshBooks and enter the top in the How Did You Hear About Us section. Again, go to nathanlatka.com/FreshBooks and enter the top in the How Did You Hear About Us section.
Monish, let's wrap up with the famous 5. You ready?
Oh, absolutely.
All right, number 1. What's your favorite business book?
My favorite business book is essentially I love to read Calvin and Hobbes. I don't read many business books.
Calvin and Hobbes, I love that.
I love reading Calvin and Hobbes. Yeah.
All right, number 2. Is there a CEO you're following or studying right now?
Oh yeah, I love Jeff Bezos. I totally subscribe to his philosophy. He loves experimenting, and I think for him, discovery happens from experimenting, and that's what we do.
Number 2, what's your favorite online tool, like Acuity Scheduling?
Well, I use I'm total slave to Google Calendar and Google Tasks, and that's what I use Google very often.
And number 4, do you get 8 hours of sleep every night?
Well, I do. I try. I sleep early and I wake up early. I make sure that I get my 8 hours of sleep because if I'm not fit, my company won't be fit. Yeah. So I'm very, very particular about my fitness.
And what's your situation? Are you married, single? Do you have kids?
Well, I'm married. I have a 10-year-old boy, and I had a baby girl who's about 10 months old.
Oh, wow.
So I have my hands full.
You are a busy man. And how old are you?
I'm 44.
All right, Monish, last question. Take us back 24 years. What do you wish your 20-year-old self knew?
Well, I wish I knew what internet was. I mean, 20 years back, I remember I used to look at my landline phone. I used to wonder that, hey, I wish I could see the other person on the other side. And, and that's happened here. And so I don't want to be in that place again. I'm 44, and I hope I can predict in 20 years, by the time I'm 64, how the technology is going to evolve here.
Well, guys, there you have it from Monish. What an episode. I mean, unbelievable. Founded his company in 2015, solving an unbelievable problem, helping folks that typically in India have to rely on loan sharks at very unfavorable rates to get loans, again, in India. He's using mobile data and other data sets to establish their own credit score through his app, Shub Loans, which you can see on the Google Play Store. They've got 10,000 people that have downloaded it, and over the past several months, they've issued over 600 loans, averaging $75,000 rupees, or about 1,100 United States dollars, at about a 22 to 26% IRR, which is about half what those same borrowers would do if they went with a loan shark. And he's making a 2% fee on top of that. Raised $400,000 of an equity round already, about to close a $5 million round of equity. His team of 17 in India are mostly data scientists, again, focused on helping more people take more efficient and better and easier to manage loans at better terms. Monish, thank you for taking us to the top.
Thank you, Nathan. Thank you so much.
If you enjoyed Monish today, go back and listen to McCabe yesterday. His coffee shops do $1.8 million, but his crowdfunding platform is more impressive. In 2016, over 486 people listed projects on his crowdfunding platform, doing over $550,000 in funds raised. It's called community funding. It would mean the world to me if you guys got any value from this episode, if you would go leave a review on iTunes right now and then subscribe. You know, I hustle like heck to get these episodes out every freaking day for you guys, and trust me, I love it. I would do it with no listeners, but boy, oh boy, it makes my day, and it makes my team's day when we see great reviews and get your feedback. So thanks so much. Top Tribe, I love giving away free money. I feel like Oprah giving away cars, and I have something special for you today. How many of you have heard our super sharp guests talk about success they've had with Facebook and Google Ads? Well, all of you listening right now, yes, if you're listening, you get $100 in free AdWords. Here's how you get it, okay? Again, thanks for listening. Get the free $100 from Google, right, when you sign up with my website host provider, HostGator. Go sign up now to get your free money. HostGator.com/Nathan. Again, that's HostGator.com/Nathan. So guys, I'm so glad to be back in Austin. I just got back from a major tour of Southeast Asia. Went to Sydney, Bangkok, Bali, and Japan. And, you know, I always get sick when I travel. And this particular trip, my gosh, 15 different airports, 20 different hotels. I mean, imagine flushing in airport bathrooms. I was worried about germs and getting all the nutrition I need. I mean, finding a restaurant in Japan, difficult because nothing's in English. So it's hard enough to figure out the train system. But my point is, I had a guy named Drew Canoli on the show who said, Nathan, if you're concerned about that, take these little green packets with you. You just mix them once per day with water. They'll keep you super healthy. You get all your nutrients, and they'll keep you from getting sick. So I took them, and guys, they worked unbelievably well. I got no sickness, just mixed them with water once per day. They didn't make my water bottles all sticky. That's like nice. A lot of these mixers, they make them sticky. It was very clean and smooth. Took them once per day, never got sick. So they've got 11 superfoods, and they're perfect if you're not traveling, but you're just on the go from your office to work. So you can check them out at nathanlatka.com/juice. That's nathanlatka.com/juice.